Hello, and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today it's up for review. And what are we reviewing?
Stranger Things, episode 2.
This episode is called The Weirdo at Maple Street. On Maple Street. Something like that, which I didn't really get because what's Maple Street?
I don't know, I'm sure we should know that.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it was kind of like cerebral or something. Something like that.
There's
So,
probably something mentioned in the episode and we just forgot it.
yeah, so I mean, carried on from last time, you got the boys taking in 11
Yeah.
into their house, and like they kind of nanged it when they went to take off the clothes, which I think is interesting because how many guys do you know who would be like, whoa, 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 keep your clothes on, privacy?
Well, I don't know how old they are though, so I think at their age, they probably would be like that. I mean, how old are they?
I don't know, maybe about 12.
Yeah, so I mean, it's borderline. I mean, yeah, if it was the sister and her friends, there's no way that would happen. But with with them being that young, I think they probably would freak out a little.
Very respectable. So, I mean, with her, there's kind of a little flash. You see her getting dragged away and screaming "Papa"
Yeah,
to. I think it's the same white-haired guy as you normally see. Now,
it
the
is.
the thing with that is it like because you hear her scream "Papa"? Is it her dad or is it like someone she like? If she's been like taken and experimented on, if that's like a handler, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or like a technician or something who watches over her, she would see him as Papa. I don't actually, honestly don't think it's probably actually her dad.
No, neither do I. I think she's one, and I mean she's called 11, so I imagine she's one in a long line of these kids that they take in, and maybe that's part of her indoctrination or whatever it is. That's part of the experiment. You put them with a person, a handler, like you say, and then they're ripped away.
Mhm. So, I mean, you had her locked away in a little room or whatever and melting. So whatever that means, I don't know at this point. But obviously, you'd think she was like uh, not so much abused as in how you'd think abused, but locked away and kind of isolated and
Yeah, and I mean that's played into her actions in the episode as well. She doesn't like being locked away. She doesn't want the door closed when she goes to get changed. She doesn't want to be shut in the cupboard when the mum comes home. So clearly, it's something that psychologically damaged her.
yeah. So I mean, you moving on from that, you had her. She knows Will. I mean, well, maybe she don't know Will, but she knows of Will, and she's kind of she kind of in no fewer words hinting that he's hiding from the. Well, I mean, she put the figure down of the monster who was like in the first episode that they were all like the Dungeons and Dragons or whatever game they're playing, the big like monster or whatever. So whatever took him, I think he's been took by whatever it is, and now he's kind of got away, so to speak, and is kind of hiding from it. It doesn't know where he is, but I imagine it's gonna do whatever. Cause
Well, do you think do you think that she's actually seen him, or is it part of her powers, like some psychic thing? They're connected in some way.
I don't think they're connected in some way because that'd mean that I mean you'd have to ask yourself why was this kid taken? Would it have been anyone in that area at that time, or was it specifically this kid that they took? Which I don't think so. I think it was literally just wrong place, wrong time.
Really, I would lean the other way. I think he's been taken for a reason.
Okay then, because I mean you had the scientist people, you've had them kind of covering their steps now. You made them that they made it look like the guy from the diner shot himself in the head, and then you had them kind of snooping around the buyer's house. You had him in the little shed where he was last seen, and it kind of, they were scanning with whatever they're scanning, and then like they focused on the thing, and there's a bit of like ooze coming down the shutter or whatever. I mean, so I'm pretty sure if it's a monster, it's kind of along the same lines as the thing they had in there. In the thing at the start, I figure the monster was in there, like kind of like, I think that thing on the wall was like a chrysalis, and the monsters got out, escaped in the hubbub, and that the kids escaped, and now the monster's kind of like, well, it's a monster in it, so it's like eating people. I guess that's my kind of hint. Moving away from there, you kind of got back to Nancy and her frolicking and that.
Right, which again, I'm waiting. It's okay. I'm not dropping out yet, but I'm still waiting for that to mean something.
Well, the thing is, like, you had her friend.
Barb, yeah.
Yeah, so like you had her cut her finger at the party, dripping it into the pool, and then she got, well, whatever, because whatever the MO is, because I mean, if it killed her, it would have splattered her there and then, you know what I mean? So the fact she's vanished as well into thin air, I think just the blood thing was just like a thing, you know what I mean? It didn't actually mean anything, or maybe it smells the blood. Maybe it's like a shark, a land shark, or
A
something.
land shark.
Yeah, because she had the blood. It's like Jaws, you know, the blood in the water. Then all of a sudden, like Jaws comes up and eats her or whatever. It was kind of like that. So, and you had, see, my issue with the episode is the brother, Will's brother, is like,
Oh, don't get me started on the brother.
is
Oh
like,
my god, what's he doing?
it's like Nancy talked to him and that, so then he disappears, goes to talk to his dad. I don't know what he was doing with the pictures in the first place. You know, he was just taking pictures around the wooded area.
Let's start at the beginning with the brother. Okay, so he's with, one good thing I'll say about the brother is with Will, and he's trying to, I guess, take his mind off the fact that their dad ain't coming,
Yeah,
and they're trying to bond. That's cool, but then his big complaint is you should never do or be fast something forced upon you, and then pretty much forces the clash upon his brother.
Yeah.
And then he disappears to go see the dad, and got pretty much nowhere with that.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty pointless.
Yeah, but although maybe that's to bring his dad back in at a later point, I guess, so he introduced the character.
I think they're kind of... See, the thing is, I think they're kind of trying to accuse people slightly, even though you kind of know that whatever monster's taking him, maybe it's not a monster, maybe that's like a metaphor in that, and it's not actually a monster, it's like a person or something. Because I think at the start, because when they're at the school, really, I think like they were trying to like blame him, you know, and I think like how the direction the episode's gone and that, I think they're kind of slightly trying to blame him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I suppose he is quite a weird guy, isn't he? He's a bit of a loner who goes around taking photos. Why he was doing that now? I get he has a hobby, but his brother's missing. What are you taking photos for?
Yeah, I think maybe he was trying to, maybe hoping the pictures would like clock it, because I think he was taking pictures where they found the bike, so I think he was clicking pictures around there, because that was pointless. I mean, he took a picture of like a random tyre and a couple of twigs and stuff, and then he turns into full creep.
Right, that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing. This is what really bugged me. He's a bit of a creep, but how long was he stood there?
Yeah, you know what I mean, because they went inside, they dried off, then they're upstairs. I mean, Barb. See, I was watching that scene intently, because I was thinking, is he using a flash on his camera? But obviously it turns out he's not on that, because I kept looking and I was waiting to see a flash when he was taking pictures, because I was thinking that would be sloppy if he's got his flash on and that. They would have clocked that one.
But everyone goes inside, and then Barb comes out, and this Burke is still stood there.
Yeah, and then he starts taking pictures of Barb. He's like, oh, she's so special. And then the only actual bit where that could be useful, where the monster turns up and the moron misses it. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh, every show has an idiot, I guess. Stranger Things
Exa-
douchebag.
Exactly. I mean, they're kind of. I see them drawing from stuff because like 11's kind of like there was like I was getting an ET vibe. You know what I mean? Like in
Yeah.
T when Elliot brings in obviously ET and it's like showing it the food and stuff. It's like I want to know what a grasp of English is because she says yes and no and stuff, and she don't really know the concept of friend or stuff like that. So I think that's interesting that she doesn't really.
Yeah.
She's got limited English as well.
I guess she's been taught certain words that she needs to know wherever she is, and friend being not one of them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a it was a good second episode. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? There's a lot of questions. You know what I mean? Because if you go on to the mum now, I mean, you had a phone get frazzled in the first phone call. Then she gets another phone. She gets another phone call. You actually hear someone speak this time, which I guess is Will, and then that phone gets frazzled as well. So something's definitely going on because you could have explained the first one away as the storm, which I think the sheriff tried to do. But this one, now you know, it's kind of like
Well, now we know, but is anyone going to believe her? No one else is there. They're probably going to think she's nuts. So
yeah, especially if she goes on because didn't the wall start like moving?
yeah,
That was pretty freaky. Now I'm thinking, is that something different to the monster?
I don't know.
I think there's a lot of creepy stuff going on. It's kind of like a ghost vibe, you know what I mean? Because when you see all the programs about ghosts and stuff, you got the flickering lights, like poltergeist and stuff like that. You
Sure,
got
yeah. They
flickering
dropped
light.
they dropped a poltergeist reference as well in the first episode, didn't they? I think with Will and his mum.
Yeah, tickets.
Right, yeah. So it's definitely full on Spielberg, isn't it? Aliens and the weird
Yeah,
ghost
aliens
stuff.
and ghosts and spectres and stuff. So, I mean, for now,
Oh, we've got the sheriff as well. He didn't have much to do in this episode, but I think we found out that the guy in the diner was friends with him as well.
yeah, I think because when it was with that woman in bed, and
Yeah,
then like he goes outside, and like I think he made a reference to apparently his daughter went missing.
yeah. I thought she died.
Yeah, see, that's the thing now. Has she gone missing? They've never found her and just assumed she's dead, written it off as dead, or was she actually dead? You know what I mean? I think that'll probably be explained in the next episode. But for now, we've kind of got a lot of things and not really any answers. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
just like, oh, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened, and all we're given in terms of answers, instead of answers, we've got people hanging about in the bushes taking pictures. So I mean, it's moving at a good pace though. You know what I mean? But literally for now, we've got no answers. You'd assume that the kidnapped kid and that, he's like, I mean, if he's communicating in that way, you'd think he's like in another terrestrial realm,
Mm. I mean,
or
if it is him, yeah.
yeah, or something like that. Because I mean, the flickering lights and so, it's one thing to get a phone call, like a bad connection phone call, maybe in the middle of a forest somewhere, but with the flickering lights, and then but is that meant to be cerebral? Is that like a figment of our imagination? Because you got her sleeping in the chair, you got her waking up. Maybe that's like guilt. Maybe she's done something, and maybe it's all guilt.
Maybe, but I'm not thinking it's that deep. I'm thinking it's full on, fantasy stuff. Probably just sort of alien or ghost or something.
Mm,
But time will tell. Like you say, it's still more questions than answers in a minute.
definitely. So, in terms of, unless there's anything else we've missed.
No, I think that's about it. Although that kid with the curly hair and the cap, he's my boy.
Oh, you like him, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I didn't get enough of like I don't think the dad was really featured this episode, so I got nothing to say about him. Yeah, it's jokes when like the I think Lucas is his name, where he's going on about the spit swear and that, and he's like and does it, and like the fuzzy haired kid, I forget his name. I think it's
yeah, me as well.
something beginning with D, and like they slap five and that, and then there's just like, it's like, what did you expect? Did you just
Yeah,
completely miss him
it's also
spitting?
cool how they hold it in the background as well, even though the scene moves on. You can just see him staring at his hand, like what the hell was going on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what it's good at. It does like funky things like that, which is pretty good. So let's talk numbers.
Okay, I'll give it an 8.
I wouldn't really see the differentiation from this or last episode, so I'd probably give it an 8.5 again. I mean, it's
All right.
consistent. There's some cool things going on, but until I get some answers, you're not getting higher than an 8.5. So, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode. I'm Sam.
On that.